Welcome to the Dietitian Side Hustle podcast. My name is Katie Dodd, and I'm a nutrition entrepreneur. I spent 7 years as a side hustler before diving into entrepreneurship full time. Before making the leap, I was bringing in 6 figures through my side hustle. If I can do it, you can too. This podcast is for dietitians, interns, and students who want to be inspired to start or perfect the side hustle of their dreams. Let's do this. Hello and welcome to the 110th episode of the Dietitian Side Hustle podcast, Flip the Script. Now, I've been doing lots of interviews, so I'm really excited to come back with just an episode where we're having a conversation. And this is a really fun conversation I want to dig into, and one that I think will be relevant to everyone listening. Now, at the end, I am going to have some action items for you. I want you to spend some time reflecting, and I want you to flip the script as well. So what do I mean about flip the script? Today's conversation is going to be about mindset. It's going to be about our limiting beliefs and the things that we say to ourselves and how we need to flip the script on that internal talk of what we are saying to ourselves and say things that are more positive and will help us to reach our big dreams and goals. Now, at the time of me recording this episode, I am just coming off of the Blog Boss Mastermind Oregon Retreat. So I have a lovely mastermind with dietitian bloggers who want to level up their online business, and we meet in person twice per year. Now, we just met in Oregon. I live in Oregon, and it was a wonderful opportunity to show off beautiful Southern Oregon. We spent 2 days, amazing, really cute 1930s Airbnb. We spent a lot of time in reflection, mindset, dreaming big, digging into how awesome we are and why we are the unique person in our business who's going to have success, creating big dreams, and then figuring out, okay, how am I going to make this happen? And I will tell you, it was amazing. Some really cool things happened during this weekend, and I just can't wait to see everything to continue to unfold. I've shared before, you can't beat the power of an in-person event. And I think people in Blog Boss Mastermind will agree. Man, one in-person event just beats a gazillion Zooms. It's something about that energy of being in person. So one of the takeaways of the weekend for me was how when it comes to our business, our big dreams, our big goals, what we want to accomplish, or really anything in life, it really comes down to us, our mindset, and our limiting beliefs. It's really you against you. So for the big goals and dreams we set this weekend, there is only one reason that these big goals and dreams will not happen, and that's us. It's you against you. We hold ourselves back from so many things. So with this conversation, I wanted to talk about limiting beliefs, because if you've heard me talk for a while, you know I believe that mindset is everything. My entire journey has been about changing my mindset, and that is what has gotten me from just a side hustler with goals of making $300 a month to now being a full-time entrepreneur and having really big dreams on reaching more people, making more impact, making more money, and it all comes down to mindset. So let's talk about what a limiting belief is. And I actually Googled this. I Googled limiting belief, so I am about to share the definition from the article with the most SEO optimized response for the keyword limiting belief. If you're a blogger, you get it. If not, don't mind me. But so a limiting belief, according to betterup.com, a limiting belief is a thought or state of mind that you think is the absolute truth and stops you from doing certain things. These beliefs don't always have to be about yourself either. They could be about how the world works, ideas, how you interact with people. But for today, we're going to be talking about limiting beliefs for ourselves. So thoughts or a state of mind of what we think is the absolute truth and what stops us from doing certain things. Now, the cool thing about Mastermind this weekend is that each and every one of us have limiting beliefs. But oftentimes, if we are surrounding ourselves with the right people, they don't see those beliefs. They don't see those blocks that we have in our mind. So sometimes it takes putting ourselves around other people who believe in us to speak truths into our lives and to see what we cannot see because our brains are telling us you can't possibly do that. And here's a list of 25,000 reasons why you couldn't possibly do that. So having other people in our life who can break down those limiting beliefs is huge, right? Because they're things that we're thinking that are absolute truths. But the cool thing about our thoughts is we can change them. We can flip the script. So we all have limiting beliefs, each and every one of us. Some of them are conscious, like we're aware of them, but others are unconscious and we don't even see it. And sometimes it takes someone lovingly calling us out. I feel like the more I've learned about limiting beliefs, the more I will call out someone who's speaking truth to a limiting belief. I was on a call for another group recently, and someone said the statement, "I'm not creative." They then proceeded to share this amazingly creative graphic they made for Facebook. So I said with love, stop telling yourself you're not creative. You are creative. We all have limiting beliefs, conscious or unconscious. And I'm going to give you guys some examples because, you might be here like, oh yeah, I've got tons of limiting beliefs. I tell myself I can't do X, Y, and Z all the time. Or you might be thinking, that's not me, Katie. But I'm going to break down, I'm going to share some examples. And, if you're a listener of the podcast for a while, first off, thank you. But if you think back to earlier in this year, I did a few episodes about my journey to become a hip hop dancer. And that whole journey came down to uncovering a limiting belief. Now, the limiting belief that I had was, I can't dance. And it seems like such a small thing, right? Like, what's that have to do with business? But again, as I learned that mindset's everything, I realized that how I think, how I talk to myself, how I respond to those actions has everything to do with everything in life, including business. So I had this let me just rehash it real quick and then we'll continue on. But if you aren't familiar with my hip hop story, I was asked to dance in a charity event for a charity I really love and am passionate about. And they asked me to be on a hip hop squad. My immediate reaction, I had several reactions, very strong reactions, was I can't dance. I can't dance. I've told myself my entire life I can't dance. I'm not good at dancing. I don't have good rhythm. I'm embarrassed to dance. And the thought of me doing hip hop dance on a stage with other humans watching me, no. So I dealt with about 15 minutes of just going back and forth on my brain like, this is ridiculous, this is crazy. And then I thought about what I teach other people, what I would tell to someone else if they were saying to me what I was saying to myself. It's like, you know what? How do I know I can't dance? I've never tried. I've never had someone teach me. I just started breaking it down. I'm like, why am I telling myself I can't do this? So I said yes, and with complete terror, I said, yes, I will do this. And I did it. It wasn't like they just threw you on stage. We had practice. I was with a hip hop squad. I was the only one on the team who did not have dance experience. So intimidation was high when I started. But we did practice, and you better believe I practiced every day. I practiced so much. I actually had this massive bruise on my right knee. Our hip hop instructor got injured. She was supposed to be in our dance, but she was injured a few weeks before we went live. So we had to change our routine because she wasn't in it. So I then had to do a move, which included me doing a turn and getting down on one knee, doing some moves on one knee. And it doesn't sound like a big deal, but I practiced so much. And I'm not going to lie, it's a little hard to get up from one knee. I'm only 39. I'm not that old, I don't think. But getting up from one knee, holy cow. And I practiced a lot because I wanted it to look good. I practiced so much that my entire knee was bruised. Like, so bruised, I couldn't even get down on one knee, and I was worried because I'm like, well, great. We're going live in 1 week, and I've got this bruised knee. It's black and blue, and what am I gonna do? My mom ended up buying me. She was so sweet. She bought me some type of little knee pad that was really like subtle. You couldn't see it underneath my leggings. You could if you looked, but it was really subtle, but it helped so much to provide cushion when I got down on one knee. But anyways, all that to say, I practiced hard, and it was one of the funnest things I've ever done. And I say with confidence now, I am a dancer. I danced hip hop on a stage for charity, and I did a darn good job with all of my friends with dancing experience. So I'm so glad I did that because it really helped me to continue to work on my mindset. And it helps me to become aware of the limiting beliefs I have and flip the script. Like, why have I always told myself that? Why is my brain so mean to me? And we all have it. So let me share some examples. I hope that one of these speaks to you, or even if it's not one of these, something stands out of like, oh my gosh, Katie, I've always said this too. Always. Okay. So first off, I can't dance. I'm not good at telling stories. I'm not a good writer. I'm not good at sports. I'm not creative. I never follow through. I haven't been a dietitian long enough. I'm not the expert in that area. I'm not good enough. I'm too busy for my big dreams. I always fail. I have to be perfect. I won't succeed. So those are my examples. I'm going to share some examples of how to flip the script on those. But I think a lot of us have these limiting beliefs. It's just sometimes they're unconscious and we don't realize it until we take the time to slow down and realize, oh man, I've always said this. And I would encourage you guys, it's going to be an action item at the end where I'm just going to have you guys think about this. What are your limiting beliefs? We all have them. The second one that I shared, I'm not good at telling stories. I think I shared this on Instagram. I feel like I talk so much everywhere, from Instagram to Facebook to here to like conversations with you guys. Sometimes I forget, where did I say that? But the second example I gave of I'm not good at telling stories was actually something my son told me. My son is 11 and he loves having me tell him stories at night. And we were on vacation. I told him a story and I told him, okay, it's your turn. Why don't you tell me a story? And he told me, I'm not good at telling stories. Now, I feel like I should save this for another podcast episode because actually I think it would be a good lesson and conversation we had. But essentially I told him, like, do you know how we get good at telling stories? We tell stories. Even for me, how I got good at dancing, I danced. I had someone who knew how to dance show me how to dance. And so it's so funny how we tell ourselves we can't do things when it's like, well, maybe we can't now, but why can't we? Why can't we learn? Why can't we practice? Why can't we get better? It's like to say you can't do something when you've never learned how, you've never been taught, you've never been given the technique, the tools, the resources, and you've never tried, or at least given it a good enough try. It's like, well, how do you know? We really don't know. And our brains are so mean, these limiting beliefs. So anyways, coming back to this conversation, it really comes down to anything you want to do in this life. You can do. The biggest barrier is you. And we often think the barriers are something else. We think talking about side hustles, talking about business. We think the barrier is, I don't have the money. I don't have the time. I don't have the skill set. I haven't been a dietitian long enough. We think of all these reasons and excuses, but it comes down to one excuse, and that's us. It's us against us. If it's something we really want to do, we can figure it out. But it starts with working on our mindset and removing those limiting beliefs. Napoleon Hill, this is a quote from his book, Outwitting the Devil, which is very fabulous. He wrote this book about 100 years ago, and it's so funny. I initially listened to this book on Audible, then I bought the book and read it, underlined everything. And it's so funny how he wrote this over 100 years ago, and it's still perfectly relevant to today. And today, when it's a completely different world with technology and all the things, and it's still completely relevant. But he said, your only limitation is the one you set up in your own mind. Let me say that again. Your only limitation is the one which you set up in your own mind. Those are limiting beliefs. We all have them. And if we want to have breakthrough, we have to flip the script. So I feel like this phrase is cheesy, but I believe it and I say it a lot. Like, I believe it with everything in me. But what you believe, you will achieve. What you believe you will achieve, whether it is positive or negative. If you think, let's talk about my dancing story. If I were to think, I can't dance, I'm going to fail, it's going to be embarrassing, like, oh my gosh, I can't do this. You know what? I'm probably right. I'm probably right because had I thought that, I wouldn't have even signed up for the dance competition, right? I would have been like, nope, I can't dance. I'm not going to do it. And I would have been proving myself right because I would not have done it, right? Or if I went into it begrudgingly and complained and didn't practice and didn't try of what's the point? I'm not a dancer. I can't do this. I probably would have not done a good job, right? Where if we believe something positive, we're going to achieve that too, right? So whatever you believe you will achieve, whether or not it's negative or positive. So if I believe I can dance, I can learn to be a dancer, I am becoming a dancer, then you know what? I'm right too. I'm going to practice. I'm going to pivot. I'm going to do all the things I need to figure this out. And come the day of the dance, I'm going to do it. So whatever you believe, whether it's positive or negative, it can come true. So this is why I'm having this conversation with you guys about limiting beliefs, because I really believe it is important for each and every one of you, regardless of what stage you're in, whether or not you are a student, a dietetic intern, an NDTR, a dietitian, another healthcare professional, whoever you are, whatever stage of life you're in, and whatever you want to do, whether or not you're here because you want to start a side hustle, you have a side hustle, but you want to level it up, or you want to create another stream of income, you want to become a blogger, maybe you're a full-time entrepreneur and you're just looking for something else you could do. Whatever reason you're here, mindset's so important for each and every one of us because what we believe we will achieve. So one last quote before we start. I'm going to give some examples of flipping the script from Napoleon Hill. Be careful what you set upon your heart, for it will surely come true. This is why we're going to flip the script, because the negative things we are saying to ourselves, they come true. But if we can flip the script and set those good positive things on our heart, they can come true too. So let me share some examples. I shared a lot of examples. I just talked through it, but I shared an example of here's a limiting belief. So this is what I mean by flipping the script. We take a negative belief that we have, a limiting belief, something we tell ourselves we can't do, and we flip the script. We say it like we flip it and we make it into a positive. We make it into a this is possible. And that's what we tell ourselves. Okay? So instead of I can't dance, I can learn to dance. Instead of I'm not good at telling stories, I am a storyteller. Instead of I'm not a good writer, I'm getting better at writing. That one's subtle, right? I'm getting better at writing. And if you tell yourself that, the more you write, the better you're going to get, the better you're going to get. And then someday you're going to say with confidence, I am an awesome writer, which you probably are an awesome writer right now. It's just your mindset telling you you're not. Limiting belief, I'm not creative. Flip the script. I can be creative. I am creative. And I honestly believe that each and every one of you can be creative. Some people think that creativity looks a certain way, but I think every one of you is capable of creativity. It just looks different in different people. And creativity, like anything else, can be a learned skill. You can learn how to become more creative. Another podcast episode. Limiting belief. I never follow through. Flip the script. This time I will follow through. Limiting belief. I haven't been an RD or a dietitian long enough. Flip the script. I am a dietitian. You guys, I've said this before because you guys know that I'm in the blogging space, right? And there's so many dietitians and students who are worried about blogging because they feel like they're not good enough. And they take forever writing an article because they feel like it's not good enough. They feel like they need to include 25 million peer-reviewed references to prove they know what they're talking about. And even when they push publish, they don't want to share it because they're like, oh, it's not good enough. But then there are so many people online in the blogging space who are not dietitians. They just happen to eat food, and they're sharing information that is not correct and sometimes harmful. And they're doing it with confidence. They are so confident. They are, making money, sharing information, and completely confident. So I always say to dietitians, like, you just need to have the confidence of a food blogger who just happens to eat food and they talk about, dietetic stuff, right? So we just need the confidence of a nutritionist, of someone who's already out there doing it, because you are a dietitian. You went to school, you passed your internship, half of you have master's degrees. And even if you don't, you passed the RD exam. Even if you don't have the answers, you know where to go to get the correct answers. You are enough just as you are, and you don't need to be a dietitian longer to pursue any dream that you have, because there are plenty of people in whatever space, whatever side hustle you want to do, who are doing exactly what you want to do without the RD credential, with confidence, outside of M&T. But, all those other things like blogging, freelance writing, like all these different things. So, flip the script. I'm an RD and that's enough. Next one kind of ties in with the RD thing, but I'm not an expert in that area. But think about it, you guys. How do you become an expert? You become an expert by doing it. So how we flip the script on that one is I'm becoming the expert. Again, I'm a dietitian. I've got the bones. I know where to go for the correct information. So if we tell ourselves I'm becoming the expert, that's, we're flipping the script. Get rid of that whole idea of I'm not the expert. You're going to become the expert by doing. Again, pulling back to blogging because that is my jam, what I love to do. I often have people who come into my programs and they're like, well, gosh, this is what I do for my full-time job, but this is what I'm passionate about. But I'm not the expert in that area. And I feel like maybe I need to get a specialty credential in this before I can write about it. When it's like, no, you do not. You do not. And you know what's going to make you the expert? By blogging about it, writing about it, researching it, pulling up all this stuff. The more you talk about it, the more you do, the more reps you take, the more you become the expert. So flip the script. I'm not the expert in that area too. I'm becoming the expert. Limiting belief. I'm not good enough. Flip the script. I am enough. I am enough right now, just as I am. That's for all y'all who might not think you're good enough. If that's you and you think you're not good enough, send me a message, Facebook, Instagram, email. I'll build you back up. We're all enough. Limiting belief. I am too busy for dreams. Flip the script. I will make time for dreams. I'll make times for myself because I am enough and I am important and my dreams matter. I'm reading a book right now. I'm reading it again. It's a book called We Should All Be Millionaires by Rachel Rogers. Very good book. If you haven't read it, I would really recommend it. And she talks a lot about money and women and expectations on ourselves. And it's really good. I feel like I can go on some tangents after reading that book. I've been going on a lot of tangents lately, actually, after reading that book. But, your dreams are important and you need to make time for them. So instead of I'm too busy for dreams, I will make time for my dreams. Limiting belief, I always fail. Flip the script. This time I won't quit. I don't believe in failure, you guys. I believe true failure is when you give up on yourself. Going through the process when things don't work out the way you thought they would, sometimes that's the best teacher. So in some ways, failure is the best teacher. But it's not true failure until we give up. So instead of saying I always fail, this time I won't quit. If you don't quit, you can't fail because you're going to continue to pivot, to twist, to ask the right questions until you reach that outcome. It might look different than you thought. It might be on a different time frame than you thought. But if you don't quit, you won't fail. Next limiting belief. I have to be perfect. There's a lot of perfectionists out there listening. You might not say that out loud, but this one might be unconscious. I have to be perfect. Flip the script. I will strive to be imperfect. I am a big fan of embracing imperfection, and I think that the more we can embrace being imperfect, the better. I really live by the mantra, done is better than perfect. I say that a lot because I want dietitians to believe it. Done is better than perfect. Strive to be imperfectly perfect. So, last limiting belief. I won't succeed. Flip the script. I will succeed because I will not stop. Just like the failure piece, right? If you don't quit, if you don't stop, you will have success. It might look different, but you will have success. So I hope those examples were helpful for you. Again, everyone listening has different limiting beliefs. You might resonate with one or two of those. You might resonate with all of these, and that's okay. I think the first thing I would say is have grace with yourself. We are all humans and we all struggle with limiting beliefs. We all struggle with mindset issues. It does not matter what level you are at. I struggle with mindset issues. My business coach is a multimillionaire and he struggles with mindset issues. It is what it is. It's part of the human condition. No shame in that. So first step, have grace for yourself. But I'm going to assign you guys some homework. It's just some subtle low-key homework, but I do have some action items for you guys, and it's 3 parts to it. And what I want you guys to do is after you get off this episode, I hope your brain's turning. I hope the wheels are turning. You're like, okay, oh my gosh. I want you to take some quiet time to reflect. What are your limiting beliefs? Now, it's really important to take a deep dive and reflect because sometimes there might be something that's unconscious and it kind of creeps in later. But if we take time to be quiet, maybe pull out a notebook or a journal if you're a journaler. Pull out your phone with the little note section if that's better for you, but take some quiet time and reflect. What are my limiting beliefs? What are the things that I tell myself I can't do? What are the things I say to myself that are sometimes mean and hold me back? And it's okay if it's related to business or not. Even for me, if I can't dance, if that's the one limiting belief that maybe you tell yourself, maybe it's I can't sing, whatever it is, take that and reflect on it because the beliefs we have and how we react to them show up in all areas of our life. There's other limiting beliefs out there. We just don't always see them or know them. I was actually telling someone recently, I want to, maybe I've said it here before too, but I want to take singing lessons because I've always told myself I can't sing. And I actually believe now that everyone can sing. We just have to learn how to use our instrument and maybe have someone teach us all the technique, right? So I would love to learn how to sing. It's on my list. So, I want to, if I ever do it, I'm going to share it with you guys, but I want to sing a song. and then take lessons and learn to sing, and then later sing the same song and compare the two. Because I believe that even though I've said my entire life I can't sing, I think I can sing. I think I just don't know how to sing yet. See how I flipped the script there, guys? Oh. So take time to reflect. What are your limiting beliefs? Number 2, flip the script, rewrite it, okay? So take it negative, flip it to a positive. I gave you guys lots of examples on how to flip the script, so flip that script. Then number 3, practice. Say it to yourself. Write it down. Put it on a sticky note where you will see it. Put it in your phone somewhere you will see it. Set a reminder for it to like pop up daily for a couple weeks to remind you of whatever that is. So a quick example here. If you've decided like, man, I've just told myself that I am not the expert in that area. Like I want to do something for my side hustle related to something I'm really passionate about, but I feel like I'm not the expert. And I just tell myself, well, I'm not the expert, so I can't do it. And I'm going to, get this credential. I'm going to maybe get another job. And then after I've done this for a while, then maybe I could pursue my dreams. Flip the script. Tell yourself, I'm becoming the expert. Write it down. Say it to yourself. I actually have, I have in my journal, you guys, the Blogging Accelerator Program community is amazing. Amazing. You probably hear me talk about Blogging Accelerator Program from time to time, but the community is like the best. They are my favorite part of the program. And we're actually, as a community, doing a mindset challenge right now. Because like they're so cool that they're like, oh, I just think it's so exciting that they're willing to work on their mindset because they understand how important that is to have success in their blog businesses. So Angela Lago, she is the direct sales dietitian, and she is a guest coach. She speaks to her group every month on marketing, sales, and mindset. And she created this challenge, this mindset challenge. And what it looks like is we do 5 things every day for 30 days, for a month. It's taking time to journal every day, reading at least 10 pages of a self-help business or mindset book daily, exercising for 30 minutes a day, getting 7 or more hours of sleep each night, and picking an affirmation, like a positive affirmation, and reading it 5 times. So for me, the affirmation piece was cool. I've never done that before. And actually the one I'm using right now, I heard from a Peloton meditation, and I like to meditate. I like to do a lot of stuff to work on my mindset, because the more I work on my mindset, the better I can serve you guys, the better I can serve my family, the better I can serve myself, the better I can make impact and make money. So mindset's everything for me. But my affirmation right now is every day, in every way, I'm getting better. Every day, in every way, I'm getting better. I repeat that to myself at least 5 times a day. And I've been doing that about 20 days now. I'm about 20 days through the challenge. So I know I just went on a complete tangent. But again, Blogging Accelerator Program is cool because as a community, we are going through this challenge. And just for kicks, I'm throwing in a $50 cash drawing. Everyone who completes the challenge, we're doing a fun spinny wheel and someone's going to win some money. So we like to make things fun over in Blogging Accelerator Program. But for me, taking a positive affirmation and repeating it, it just really helps me in a lot of ways that I've never done this before. So that's why I'm actually recommending it to you guys, is when you flip the script, like, practice it. Say it to yourself 5 times a day. Have it posted everywhere. Keep telling yourself this over and over and over again until your brain starts to believe it. Because again, anything you want to achieve, you can. We just have to work on understanding what are the things that are holding us back. It's almost always us. And how can we flip the script and start the process to reach our big dreams and goals, right? So I know I'm going on some tangents, so let me wrap it back up. Your homework, you guys, as soon as we are done, or if not right now, if you're busy, right, schedule some time later, but schedule it, because if not, this is just a good idea that'll never happen. But schedule some time to reflect. Quiet time, 30 minutes. Sit down and reflect. What are my limiting beliefs? What have I told myself I can't do? Things, what are your limiting beliefs? Then flip the script, rewrite it. Pick one. You can do more, but pick one to start with. And I want you to start repeating this to yourself every single day. Practice saying it to yourself. Write it down where you can see it. Put it in your phone for a reminder, and just work on flipping the script. Once that limiting belief is removed, holy cow, you guys, the doors will open and you will change how you view yourself, how you view the world, how you believe what is possible, and you will get inch by inch closer to those big, amazing dreams that you have, especially those dreams that you have that you're just too scared to speak out into the world because they feel too big, too audacious, too impossible. They are possible, you guys. So I hope today's episode was helpful. Gonna wrap things up now. I thought this was going to be a really short episode. I thought this was going to be like 10 minutes, but here we are at the 30-minute mark. One last thing I wanted to share with you guys, because I know this episode is going live at the end of September 2022. So I just want to give a quick shout out for anyone who is going to FNCE. FNCE is the Food and Nutrition Conference and Expo. This year in 2022, it's going to be in Orlando. And if you are there, I would love to see you. I'm going to have a booth. Not at the expo, but at the member marketplace. Member marketplace is somewhere that Academy members can have a booth. It's usually entrepreneurs. So you could have a booth and kind of share more about maybe a product you have or a service you have. So I am going to have a booth there for Katie Dodd Nutrition LLC, Dietitian Side Hustle. And the member marketplace is going to be on Monday, October 10th, from 9 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. So if you are going to FNCE, I want you to come find me. Come say hi, introduce yourself. I love meeting you guys, especially in person. And if you are at FNCE, put on your schedule to swing by Member Marketplace. Come by the Dietitian Side Hustle booth. I'm going to have some fun goodies. We could chat, we could have a conversation, and I will be there Monday from 9 to 3:30. And if you're listening to this later and you're like, oh, I missed out on FNCE. Next year, 2023, it's going to be in Denver, Colorado. I will be there. I don't know the details, but I will absolutely be there. I live in Southern Oregon, and we do not have a lot of direct flights anywhere. So pretty much anytime I go somewhere, I'm taking 2 flights and all day. But we have direct flights to Denver, Colorado. So I'm so excited where I could leave my home and be at FNCE in a few hours. So I will absolutely be there next year too. Don't know if I'll have a booth. Well, I probably will. We'll see how this year goes. This is my first time. So anyways, thank you guys so much for listening. I hope this episode was helpful. I just hope that you continue to work on your mindset and flipping the script in every area of your life, not just business, every area. Okay. Thanks you guys so much for listening, and feel free to reach out to me and let me know how you're flipping the script. I love hearing from you. Have a great day. Bye.